Yo, what's going on YouTube? And this time I should have my audio and video in sync. I just tested it out. If for some reason it's unsynced by the time it's uploaded, that's YouTube. I don't know. But been a lot of index talk, going around lately. Unfortunately, 99% of it, just pure money grabbing titles and a bunch of random, reaching rumors that people are putting out there just for views because people are mad thirsty for this YouTube money. I'm putting that out there right now. If you guys have a website, whatever, it's cool. But you know who you are, and y'all need to chill. Although I don't fully blame y'all because it is also partly Nintendo's fault for not giving us any games to occupy us, while we're waiting for this next system. But anyways, that's a different video. I want to talk about the very limited amount of time Nintendo has to advertise the Index. This is going to be a real Index video. I'm not doing news for views. I'm not doing a money grabbing title. I'm not speaking some bullshit rumor to get people to click on my video. Real actual Index discussion. Because here's the thing, right? And I wouldn't say, they're foolish to think this or believe this. It makes perfect sense. I see where they're coming from. I see where, the logic stems from. But, a lot of people are saying that, 6-7 months is enough to advertise the NX because, well, the Xbox One had 6-7 months and the PS4 had roughly that same amount of time. I think the PS4 was revealed 2 months before the Xbox One, though, wasn't it? Because the PS4 was in February of that year. And then I think the Xbox One had its reveal in May. Yeah, so it had a few months before that. But both those systems were revealed and released within the same year. For the Xbox One, yeah, it was a matter of 6 months. And I get that. That makes sense. So you would assume, because they've done it and it worked out for them, of course Nintendo could do the same thing as well. No, though. And I'm going to tell you guys why that doesn't work for Nintendo. Here's the thing. The masses know about the Xbox brand. The masses know about the PlayStation brand. Add on top of that the fact that the Xbox brand and the PlayStation brand were coming off strong all the way up to their next system. You see what I mean? They were very big, relevant, strong, healthy brand names. They never fell off. The hype never really died down for those two brands. Add on to that the fact that both of those companies, especially Microsoft, are marketing masters. They're marketing juggernauts. These companies put in a lot of dollars towards their marketing. Add on top of that, these are still standard systems. You see what I mean? They're not relying on any type of new idea or new gimmick. It's understood. It's realized that, hey, it's just like the last Xbox, except it's stronger, it has more features. They don't have to spend time explaining anything like that. You see what I mean? People could hear Xbox and then some new thing at the end of Xbox and they'll know it's a new Xbox. They'll know exactly what to expect. People could hear PlayStation, with the next number at the end of it, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6. They already know what's up. You see what I mean? They already know what to expect. But when you have Nintendo that doesn't keep the same system name, and also their brand, the strength of their brand name has really weakened over the past 2 generations, you gotta have more than 6 or 7 months to advertise your system, especially when you add on to that the fact that it's gonna have some new cool, gimmick idea. You see what I'm saying? So that is why I'm making the argument here, guys, that it is not good that Nintendo has waited this long to reveal the system. Yes, I do agree that they will reveal it next month. I'm not saying that, they're not going to announce it next month or something like that. But I'm saying that even next month, they've taken way too long. Way too long. And, they said the whole thing about they're worried about people stealing ideas, which is funny because Nintendo's kind of contradicting themselves because they always say time and time again how they don't want, the other companies copying off them. And they always say at the same time that they're not worried about what the other companies are doing. So you see what I'm saying? Which isn't Nintendo? That's completely contradictory. You're saying you're not worried about what the competition is doing. You say that you're not even in direct competition with them, though you are. Hopefully one day you'll realize that before it's too late. At the end of the day, Nintendo, you're making a gaming machine. They're making a gaming machine. Even if you don't want to be in competition with them, you are going to be. Why? Because you are selling a similar product. You are selling the same type of product. You can't be a watch manufacturer and there's another watch manufacturer and you say that you're somehow not in competition with that watch manufacturer. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. But I don't understand how you can say you're not worried about the competition, you're not worried about what Sony and Microsoft are doing, but at the same time you're worried about them copying your ideas. Add on to that the fact that I don't honestly at this point I don't think Sony and Microsoft would be really worried about you like that, Nintendo. I mean and that's not to be mean, that's just to be honest. You guys really haven't done much since 2010. This is 2016. It's been 6 years. You guys have been largely irrelevant to Sony and Microsoft, and I wouldn't say the gaming industry, but the mainstream, gaming market. You know what I mean? Wii U is only at I don't know what it's at now. I'm sure it really hasn't moved that far after all this time. It's probably at like 14 million sold or something like that. Let me just check VG charts. So it isn't completely accurate, but 13 million. You guys are still at 13 million. The last time I checked VG charts was like a year ago, and you guys are at 13 million. That's an exaggeration, of course, but you see what I'm saying? I don't understand why you think they're so ready to. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if a company sees a good idea, they'll take it regardless of how relevant you've been or regardless of how well your system is doing. Sure, I can see that. I can believe that. But as of right now, I just can't see Sony and Microsoft, sitting at your doorstep waiting for you to open the door to, punch you real quick and then take your idea. You see what I mean? They have it going so well for them, or more so Sony, of course. But, they have big things going on. They got, these upgraded systems coming. Gamers love them. They have all this third-party support, great online. I just can't see them, just, like I said, at your doorstep ready to take your idea. That doesn't make sense to me. But, yeah, to the Nintendo fans, guys, I just don't think 7 to 6 months is suitable, particularly for this system because of the state that Nintendo is currently in, and also because that this system is not a successor to any of the previous ones, right? It's not a Super Nintendo, it's not an NES, it's not an N64, it's not a GameCube 2, and it's not another Wii line of system. Thank God. You see what I mean? So when you're coming out with a fresh system where you got to reestablish not your brand name, because people will understand that it's Nintendo, but if they just hear the system itself, they won't know if that's Nintendo, right? It just sounds like a system until they realize that, oh, okay, this is the next Nintendo system. Because you don't do Nintendo 1, Nintendo 2, Nintendo 3, or Xbox random numbers they like to put in their, I still don't know why they put 1 at the end of it. I do, they explained it, but it's still stupid regardless. But you guys see what I'm saying? When you have all these factors working against you, you need to spend as much time as possible advertising your system before it comes out. And another thing I see a lot of Nintendo fans say is, well, the Wii U had 2 E3s and it still failed. Yeah, that is also true, but it wasn't because it wasn't that E3 was ineffective or all that publicity and marketing time was ineffective because that amount of time just didn't matter. No, the reason why it still failed after 2 E3s is because during all that time, Nintendo failed to properly convey what the system is, what it's about, and to put it out there. They failed. It wasn't that the time didn't matter, it's the fact that Nintendo mishandled that time, and they mishandled those opportunities. So don't say the time between reveal and release doesn't matter because the Wii U had 2 E3s and had all the time in the world before release. It had nothing to do with the time being irrelevant. Nintendo just fumbled their opportunity. Period. And that's all it boils down to. If you don't see that, there's no helping you. But yeah, I just don't see 6 to 7 months being a feasible amount of time to market this thing. Now, is that me saying that I think this system will fail because it's going to be coming out 6 months after it's revealed? No, I'm not saying that. But I will say this. What I'm saying is this. I do think that is going to, around launch period, affect it severely. I do. I think, of course, it's going to sell, the first month or opening week, whatever. Yeah, it'll sell the 3 million, the Nintendo faithful. But the following months, I don't think it's going to sell that much because a lot of people, mainly talking about the masses here, because you guys got to remember, you guys watching this YouTube video right now, we're the minority, right? We're not, we're not the casuals and all that. We're the people who go on the internet constantly, scouring for, gaming news and watching YouTubers, subscribing to people, going to these gaming websites. We're actually the minority of gamers. Most people don't do all this stuff that we do. Most people still go to the store, they see something they like, and they actually just grab it, and and stuff like that, right? So I think after the initial launch period, the honeymoon phase where all the hardcore, the diehards, buy the system, I think the system is really going to struggle sales wise because I just don't think that 6 to 7 months, depending on when they finally reveal this thing, is enough leeway to get the system out there. I don't. It's not. I mean, again, Nintendo had roughly 2 years, two E3s to advertise the Wii U, and the general masses still didn't really know about that when it first came out. And Nintendo did actually have some commercials, within the first 2 3 months of the system coming out, and people still didn't know about it. So having two E3s and actual commercials, their marketing campaign was terrible with the Wii U, but they did have some marketing at the very, very beginning, like I said, the first few months of launch. But even with those advertisements and two E3s, the masses still didn't know about it. So I just don't see how they expect to reveal a system that 6 minutes, 6 minutes. That's what it's going to feel like. 6 months later, release it and expect the casuals to know about it. They must have. The only way this will be doable is if they have an incredibly aggressive marketing campaign. Advertisements for most of the bigger titles, coming out for the system, the launch period games. They're going to have to be really aggressive, go balls to the wall, if they want this thing to be successful. Once all the hardcore fans, buy this thing at launch. If they want the casuals to purchase this thing within the first, like 6 months, 6 months of it releasing, they're really, I pray for their sake that they are planning some pretty huge things with their marketing. They better have a pretty big marketing budget, excuse me, coming up here. Because, like, for the reasons I explained at the beginning of the video, they just simply do not have the same luxuries that Sony and Microsoft have with their systems. And they don't even have the budget that Sony and Microsoft put into their advertising for their consoles either. So that's another thing. So I wouldn't be so optimistic saying, oh, Sony and Microsoft did it, so Nintendo could do it as well. Different scenarios, different companies, different situations. Those companies are coming off of highs. Nintendo is coming off of an all-time, literal all-time low. But those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Is 6 to 7 months good enough? When they're going to reveal this thing, I think they've taken way too long. I think all this time, every single day that slips by, where they don't even at least confirm a date for the reveal, is a huge missed opportunity, and all it's doing is hurting them, and it's hurting their fan base. Thanks for watching.